Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today's Friday, May 27th, 2022. Big show today for a Friday. First big Friday show in a while. NBA Conference Finals. We'll look back on last night's West game, look ahead to tonight's East game and a potential East game on Sunday. Stanley Cup playoffs, look back on yesterday's games, look ahead to the games for tonight and the weekend. Major League Baseball, WNBA, soccer. We'll look at the leaderboard for the Charles Schwab Challenge. We'll talk some French Open because we haven't had a chance to do so all week. NBA mock draft, news and notes, and best bet. NBA Conference Finals. We'll start with last night's Western Conference Final game and look ahead to Game 6 of the Eastern Final tonight. Warriors close out the Mavericks 120-110 as the Warriors advance to their sixth NBA Finals in the last 8 seasons, which is an incredible accomplishment for itself. Your Western Finals MVP was Stephen Curry. Klay Thompson, though, 32 points in this game. Game 6, Klay shows up to Game 5, and Luka had 28, 9, and 6. Luka was probably the best player in the series, but Steph Curry probably played the best, if that makes any sense. And tonight we have 8:30 ESPN Heat Celtics game number 6. My projection here is Celtics by 2.5 total, 214 and 2 fits. That could change with some injuries and whatnot. And it's actually 8.5. And the total is 201. The over has been my play, but it hasn't come through because of the lack of offense in the series. I'll still go with it because the numbers are so low. And I'll same game parlay it with Miami getting a lot of points. I just don't see Miami giving up without a fight. So, do I think the Celtics close out tonight? Probably, but I won't be shocked if we're playing a Game 7 on Sunday. So, for the podcast, I'll go over 201 and then the plus 8.5. And if there were to be a Game 7 on Sunday night, it would be at the same time, 8:30 on ESPN. And my projection would be Miami by 4, but that would change if there are some injuries and whatnot. And then the NBA Finals starts Tuesday, June 2nd with the Warriors against the Celtics Heat series winner. Warriors-Celtics was my pick before these two series, and that's ultimately what I think is on deck. All right, Stanley Cup playoffs. We'll go over last night's 2 games, look ahead to tonight's and the weekend's games. Hurricanes over the Rangers 3-1 to take a 3-2 series lead. Number 3 started the game with an assist, Brett Pesky. Number 2 started the game with the goal, Andrei Svechnikov. And the number 1 started the game with the goal, Vincent Trocheck. This game really turned for the better for Carolina when the Rangers initially took a 2-1 lead and they overruled it for offsides. And it was all Carolina since then. So Carolina bounces back. And Game 6 is Saturday night. Oilers over the Flames 5-4 in overtime on a game winner by Connor McDavid to send the Flames home packing. The number 3 started the game with the goal and assist, Mikhail Backlund. Number 2 started the game with the goal, Connor McDavid. And the number 1 started the game with the goal and 2 assists, Zach Hyman. This is probably the most surprising series outcome of the second round by a mile. I think a lot of people thought this was going to go 7. I picked Flames in 6, but I couldn't have been more wrong. So the Oilers wait on the Avalanche or Blues in the next round. And tonight, 8 o'clock on TNT, you have the Avs and the Blues from St. Louis. The Blues are minus 170. I'm sorry, the Avs are minus 170. The Blues are plus 140, over under 6.5. Overs minus 118, unders minus 104. Avs minus 1.5 is plus 140. Blues plus 1.5 is minus 170. I'm going to go in this game with the draw at plus 340. I don't think the Blues are going to go down without a fight. My gut tells me that the Avs close out, but I don't feel good about it because of the heart and pride of the Blues. So I'm going to go with the draw. First game, they'll go to OT at plus 340. And then Saturday night from Madison Square Garden, 8 o'clock on ESPN, the Hurricanes and the Rangers. This game's at 8. It would have been a 7 o'clock game had Calgary won last night. But no, so they're in that primetime spot on ESPN. Right now, it's a pick 'em each way. Over under 5, overs minus 144, unders plus 118. Canes minus 1.5 is plus 240. Rangers plus 1.5 is minus 300. I like the Canes to close out. I picked Canes in 6. I understand the Rangers should be undefeated at home in the playoffs, and it would have been it not been for the overturned goal in Game 1 against the Penguins. But my gut tells me Carolina's going to close out in 6. That was my pick before the series. I'm going to stick with it. But I have a little bit of doubts because of the Rangers should be undefeated at home and Carolina's 0-4 on the road. But I believe in due, and let's do is Carolina's due to win a road game. I would also go tie at 3-1 for this game to go to OT. So that's why I'm just sticking with the Carolina money line for the time being, thinking that they'll either win in regulation or they'll win in overtime. So minus 110 for the Canes on Saturday night. And if there were to be a Game 7 in Colorado on Sunday, it would be 8 o'clock on TNT. And I would probably go with the Avs puck line, whatever it is. And if it's not a great number, then I'm going to go Avs first period potentially. If that's the case, Avs puck line first period minus the goal, half goal. All right, now I'll move on to Major League Baseball. We'll go over the results from yesterday and look ahead to today and the weekend, which should be very interesting. Reds over the Cubs 20-5. Talk about a surprising final score. Yanks over the Rays 7-2. Nats over the Rockies 7-3. Tigers over the Guardians 4-3. Phils over the Braves 4-1. Royals over the Twins 3-2. Brewers over the Cardinals 4-3. Red Sox over the White Sox 16-7. Blue Jays over the Angels 6-3. Dodgers over the D-backs 14-1. And the Rangers over the Athletics 4-1. Tonight, 6:30, Giants Reds from Cincy. Carlos Rodon, and we don't know who's going for Cincy. Game's not posted on FanDuel. And it's not posted on DraftKings either, but maybe Giants puck line will be, Giants run line will be a play. At minus 1.5 if it's a plus money. 7 o'clock, Rockies Nationals. Austin Gomber and Aaron Sanchez. The Nats are minus 116. The Rockies are minus 102 over on their 9. Overs minus 105. Unders minus 115. Rocks minus 1.5 is plus 164. Nats plus 1.5 is minus 200. The pricing is just about right for each side, but I like the over in this game. Yankees Rays. Jameson Taillon and Jeffrey Springs. Rays are minus 126. Yankees are plus 108. Over under 7.5. Overs even money. Unders minus 122. Yankees plus 1.5 is minus 215. Rays minus 1.5 is plus 176. This is a hard one because the Yankees have almost half their lineup injured or on the COVID list. So 3 important guys missing: Josh Donaldson, DJ LeMahieu, and Giancarlo Stanton. I think LeMahieu's going to the injured list. It's a matter of when, not if. Now Aaron Hicks is out, so that's more than a third of their lineup now. Even though how as bad as Aaron Hicks has been this year, he's still a part of the lineup and is a regular player. So first half run line Rays minus 0.5 at plus 116 will be the play here. Next up, you have the Orioles and the Red Sox on Apple TV+. Kyle Bradish and Garrett Whitlock. Red Sox minus 196. Orioles plus 164. Over under 9.5. Overs minus 114. Unders minus 106. Orioles plus 1.5 is minus 122. Red Sox minus 1.5 is plus 102. I'm going Boston. Boston to win, but under 9.5 minus 106 is the play. Garrett Whitlock's been really good this year. I don't think the Orioles will score that many runs, so I like under 9.5. The only thing that gives me pause here is the Red Sox ability to do it by themselves. Guardians Tigers. Shane Bieber and Alex Fado. Guardians minus 158. Tigers plus 134. Over under 7.5. Overs plus 104. Unders minus 128. Guardians minus 1.5 is plus 120. Tigers plus 1.5 is minus 144. This game, I'm going to go with first half result, Guardians minus 115. Phillies Mets. Zach Eflin and Carlos Carrasco. So these teams meet again. I think this is the third or fourth time these two teams already. Mets minus 156. Phillies plus 132. Over under 8. Overs minus 120. Others minus 102. Phillies plus 1.5 is minus 166. Mets minus 1.5 is plus 138. I kind of don't mind the Phillies in this spot. But I don't really like Zach Eflin. So, in this game, I'm going to go with first half result, Mets, even money. It's funny because first half run line minus half is even money as well, but I like first half result better. Marlins Braves at 720. Trevor Rogers and Ian Anderson. Braves minus 152. Marlins plus 128. Over under 8.5. Overs minus 105. Unders minus 115. Marlins plus 1.5 is minus 176. Braves minus 1.5 is plus 146. I'm going with the under. Royals Twins at 8 o'clock. Brad Keller and Bailey Ober. Twins minus 196. Royals plus 164. Over under 8. Minus 110 each way. Royals plus 1.5 is minus 134. Mets minus 1.5 is plus 112. I'm going with the over, but I don't feel super about it. 8:15 Brewers Cardinals. Brandon Woodruff and Dakota Hudson. Brewers minus 142. Cardinals plus 120. Over under 7.5. Overs minus 108. Unders minus 112. Brewers minus 1.5 is plus 118. Cards plus 1.5 is minus 142. I'm going with the Cardinals. It's a home underdog, 56.4% chance according to ESPN Analytics, and they're plus 120. Give me the Cardinals. 9:30 Blue Jays Angels from Apple TV Plus. Alek Manoah and Chase Silseth. Toronto minus 116. Angels minus 102. Over under 8. Overs minus 102. Unders minus 118. Blue Jays minus 1.5 is plus 152. Angels plus 1.5 is minus 184. So the lines kind of feel about right here. But I'm going to go first half result Blue Jays plus 125. Astros Mariners. Justin Verlander and Chris Flexen. Astros minus 194. Mariners plus 162. Over under 7. Overs minus 122. Unders even money. Astros minus 1.5 is minus 118. Mariners plus 1.5 is minus 102. Tough one here. But I'm going to go first half total runs under 3.5 and minus 108. Dodgers D-backs. Ryan Papoy and Madison Bumgarner. Dodgers minus 156. D-backs plus 132. Over under 9. Overs minus 106. Unders minus 114. Dodgers minus 1.5 is minus 102. D-backs plus 1.5 is minus 118. I'm going to go with the under, but I don't feel good about it. Pirates Padres. Jose Quintana and Sean Manaea. Padres minus 205. Pirates plus 172. Over under 7. Overs minus 118. Unders minus 104. Pirates plus 1.5 is minus 137. Padres minus 1.5 is plus 114. This is a hard one here, but I'm going to go with the Padres run line, -1.5 at +114. And last but not least, Rangers Athletics, John Gray, Cole Irvin. Rangers -132, A's +112, over under 7, overs -115, unders -105, Rangers -1.5 is +146, A's +1.5 is -176. I love Oakland +112. Love it. 58% chance to win, according to ESPN Analytics, and they're +112. Give me Oakland. Saturday, 12 o'clock, doubleheader game 1, Orioles Red Sox from Fenway, Jordan Lyles and Nathan Eovaldi. 2 o'clock, Royals Twins, Brady Singer, Chris Archer. Brewers Cardinals at 2:15, Adrian Hauser and Matthew Liberatore. 4 o'clock, Rockies Nats, Chad Cole and Jonah Don. Rangers A's, Taylor Hearn and Zach Logie. Fox Sports 1, Guardians Tigers, Tristan McKenzie and Elvin Rodriguez. Yankees Rays, Garrett Cole and Corey Kluber. So Corey Kluber against his team from last year. Marlins Braves, Sandy Alcantara and Tucker Davidson. Giants Reds, Alec Wood and we know it's going for Cincy. Doubleheader game 2, 6 o'clock, Orioles Red Sox. We don't know the pitching matchup for that yet. 7:15 on Fox, Cubs White Sox, Keegan Thompson and Johnny Cueto. Dodgers Diamondbacks, Tony Gonsolin and Merrill Kelly. And Phillies Mets, this is probably Joe Davis's debut as the voice of baseball on Fox. Zach Wheeler and Taijuan Walker. ESPN has this as a pick'em. So if one team's favored over the other, go with the underdog. 10 o'clock, Blue Jays Angels, Yusei Kikuchi and Michael Lorenzen. Astros Mariners, Jose Urquidy and Logan Gilbert. And Pirates Padres, JT Brubaker and Joe Musgrove. Sunday, 11:30 on Peacock, Giants Reds, Alex Cobb and Tyler Mahle. 1:30, Orioles Red Sox, Bruce Zimmerman and Nick Pivetta. Rockies Nats, Cal Freeland, Josiah Gray. Marlins Braves, Alicia Hernandez, Max Fried. Yankees Rays, Luis Severino and Shane McClanahan. Guardians Tigers, Zach Plesac and Bayo Brisky. 2 o'clock, Cubs White Sox, Wade Miley and Dylan Cease. Royals Twins, Zach Greinke and Sonny Gray. 2:15, Brewers Cardinals, Corbin Burns and Miles Mikolas. Why isn't that game on Fox? That's a great game. Talking about Saturday. 4 o'clock, Rangers A's, Dane Dunning, James Kaprielian. Blue Jays Angels, Jose Barrios and Patrick Sandoval. Astros Mariners, Luis Garcia and Marco Gonzalez. Dodgers D-backs, Tyler Anderson, Zach Davies. Padres hosting the Pirates, Rosny Contreras and Mackenzie Gore. And for the second time all season, Sunday Night Baseball is from Citi Field as the Mets host the Phillies. For the second time this season. Kyle Gibson, we know, is gone for the Mets. The game's going to be on ESPN 2. If the Heat force a Game 7, the game's going to be on regular ESPN if the Celtics close out tonight. All right, now we'll move on to the WNBA. We'll go over the game from last night, look ahead to what's popping over the weekend. Sun over the Wings, 99-68. The Sun are 5-2. Dallas is 5-3. DeWanna Bonner had 18 for Connecticut, and Satu Sabali had 18 for Dallas. 2 games tonight, 7 o'clock on Twitter. You have the Sparks and the Fever. I'm going to pull up the odds real quick on FanDuel. The Sparks are favored by 5.5 totals, 164.5. Fever with the new coach. I think they'll play inspired at home. Give me the Fever plus the 5.5. And at 10 o'clock tonight, the Liberty and the Storm. The Storm are favored by 12.5 totals, 159.5. The Liberty, a lot has just gone wrong for them to start. Only one win on the season, which was the opening night game against, I want to say it was Connecticut. I think they might cover here and keep this game close. So give me the Liberty plus the 12.5 against the Seattle Storm. Saturday, 3 o'clock on ABC, you have the Aces in the Sky. And 7 o'clock on NBA TV, you have the Mystics and the Sun. That's a Commissioner's Cup game. Sunday, 12 o'clock on CBS, the Mercury in the Dream. How about CBS getting some WNBA? 6 o'clock, you have the Liberty and the Storm. Again. And 7 o'clock on Prime Video, Commissioner's Cup game between the Sparks and the Lynx. All right, now we'll look at the Major League Soccer slate for the weekend. Which is going to be interesting because there's no games on Wednesday this week. So Saturday, 6 o'clock, LAFC in San Jose. We're not going to do betting picks because of time. 7 o'clock, you have Columbus at Atlanta. DC United at the Red Bulls. Chicago at Toronto. 7:30, Cincinnati at Club Football Montreal. Philly at New England. Dallas at Orlando. 8 o'clock, Portland at Miami. NYCFC at Mini. Nashville, Colorado. Vancouver at KC. Those are both 9 o'clock games. And at 9:30, Houston at Salt Lake. Sunday, 2 games. 6 o'clock, you have Austin at LA Galaxy. And Charlotte at Seattle at 9:30. LA Austin, by the way, is a 6 o'clock game. So it should be a fun soccer weekend. Now I'll move on to golf. Charles Schwab. We'll look at the leaderboard very quickly before we get into tennis. So tied for first with 4 under. Harold Varner III, Cam Davis, Scotty Scheffler, Nate Taylor, Webb Simpson, Chris Kirk, Bayo Hostler, Patrick Reed. Tied for 9th with 3 under. Davis Riley, Kevin Na, Camilo Vegas, Pat Perez, Austin Smotherman, Scott Stallings, and Dylan Fratelli. Tied for 16th with 2 under. Dylan McCarthy, Christian Ziedenhout, Max McGreevy, Brendan Haas, Charlie Hoffman, Ches Reed, Brendan Todd, Russell Knox, Adam Long, Matt Trainer. Tied for 26th with 1 under. Henry Higgs, Matthew Neesmith, Victor Hovland, Wyndham Clark, Sam Ryder, Adam Svensson, Lucas Hodges, Matthias Schwab, Chung Sun Pong, Ricky Fowler, Max Homa, Lucas Donald, Jordan Spieth, Ryan Palmer, Jason Kokrak, James Ha, Emiliano Grillo. Tied for 43rd at even. Colin Morikwa, that was my pick. Abraham Anser, Sebastian Munoz, Chad Ramey, Mito Pereira, Doc Redmond, Sahith Thiglia, Sanjay M, Ian Poulter, Matt Jones, Zach Johnson, Tommy Fleetwood, Lucas Glover, Kyan Goulet. Notables, tied for 57th with 1 over. Patton Kazir, Joel Dahman, Aaron Ray, Trey Mullinax, Stefan Yeager, Mark Hubbard, Kremer Hickok, Sam Burns, Tyler Duncan, Lucas Herbert, Vincent Whaley, Evan Van Rooyen, Patrick Rogers, Justin Thomas, Daniel Berger, Brent Snecker, Stuart Stink, Rory Sabatini, Tony Finau, Davis Lipsky, and Maverick McNeely. Tied for 80th with 2 over. Walter Zalatoris, Adrian Smalley, Grayson Sig, Nate Lashley, Taylor Gooch, Kevin Stroman, Justin Rose, Gary Woodland, Sam Piercy, Brett Horschel, Peter Malnati. Tied for 91st with 3 over. Michael Thompson, Garrick Higo, Danny Lee, Troy Merritt, Cam Triangle, Kevin Kisner, Adam Putnam, Robert Streb. Tied for 104th with 4 over. Carlos Ortiz, Brian Storer, James Hahn. Tied for 108th with 5 over. JT Potts and Adam Schenk. Taylor Hogue tied for 111th with 6 over. Taylor Moore, Nate Watney, and Jason Duffner. Tied for 16th with 7 over. Brian Harmon, Doug Gim, Brandon Wu. 119th with 8 over. JJ Spawn. And 120th with 10 over. Paul Barjan. All right, now move on to the French Open. We have not done French Open this week because we haven't had the time for it, but we're going to do it today. Rapid fire, we're going to go over results that we've had so far. going up all the way ahead to today. We'll start with the men's. First round. 6-seed Carlos Alcaraz over Juan Incognito Londero in 3 sets. Jason Kubler over Dennis Kudla in 3 sets. Bernabe Zapta Morales over Michael Momoa in 3 sets. 3-seed Alexander Zverev over Sebastian Offner in 3 sets. Camilo Ugo Carabelli over Ajan Karastev in 5 sets. Albert Ramos Vinolas over Thanasi Kakanakis in 4 sets. 21-seeded Karen Kakdavov over Nuno Borges in 4 sets. Fabio Fognini over Alexei Popyrin in 3 sets. Talon Griekspoor over Alejandro Dadovic Fokina in 4 sets. Pablo Cuevas upsets 31-seeded Jensen Brooksby in 3 sets. 9-seeded Felix Auger-Aliassime over Juan Pablo Varelas in 5 sets. 23-seeded Jonathan Isner over Quinton Halles in 4 sets. 26-seeded Botic van den Jansolp over Pavel Kotov in 4 sets. Grigor Barari over Taro Daniel in 5 sets. 15-seeded Diego Schwartzman over Andrei Kuznetsov in 4 sets. 18-seeded Grigor Dimitrov over Marcos Giron in 3 sets. Borna Koric over Carlos Taberner in 4 sets. Hugo Delian over Dominic Thiem in 3 sets. Elijas Badin over Chris O'Connell in 4 sets. Jaume Munar over Daniel Altamare in 4 sets. And the match between Joao Souza and Zheng Shenzhen was canceled. Monday, first round. 27-seeded Sebastian Korda over John Millman in 3 sets. Christian Garin over 30-seeded Tommy Paul in 4 sets. 1-seed Novak Djokovic over Yoshihito Nishioka in 3 sets. Ilya Ivashka over Benoit Paire in 4 sets. Richard Gasquet over Lloyd Harris in 3 sets. Alexander Bublik over Arthur Rinderknech in 3 sets. Henri Laaksonen over Pedro Martinez in 4 sets. 20-seeded Marin Cilic over Attila Balazaz in 3 sets. Mikel Ymer over James Duckworth in 3 sets. Martin Fucsovics over Jeffrey Blancano in 3 sets. Pedro Chachin over Norbert Gambos in 4 sets. 28-seeded Milmor Kekmanovic over Thomas Martin Echeverry in 3 sets. Mackenzie McDonald over Franco Agamomini in 4 sets. 5-seeded Rafael Nadal over Jordan Thompson in 3 sets. 29-seeded Dan Evans over Francisco Cerundolo in 3 sets. 10-seeded Cameron Norrie over Manuel Guinard in 3 sets. Corentin Moutet over Stan Wawrinka in 4 sets. 22-seeded Nicolas Bastavili over Maxime Carey in 5 sets. Brendan Nakashima over Kamil Majrzak in 5 sets. Sebastian Baez over Dusan Lajovic in 4 sets. Borna Gojo over Alessandro Giannessi in 5 sets. Filip Krajinovic upsets 17-seeded Riley Opelka in 3 sets. 13-seeded Taylor Fritz over Santiago Falk Rodriguez Taverna in 5 sets. And the match between Alejandro Tabilo and Borna Gojo was canceled. Tuesday, first round. Gilles Simon over 16-seeded Pablo Carreno Busta in 5 sets. 4-seeded Stefano Tsitsipas over Lorenzo Musetti in 5 sets. Steve Johnson over Jiri Vesely in 4 sets. Zdenek Kolar over Lucas Pole in 4 sets. 11-seeded Jannik Sinner over Borjan Frontangelo in 3 sets. 12-seeded Hubert Hurkacz over Guido Zaperi in 3 sets. Marcos Cecchinato over Pablo Andujar in 5 sets. Roberto Cabreras-Baena over Oscar Ate in 5 sets. Hugo Gaston upsets 19-seeded Alex Demeter in 5 sets. 24-seeded Francis Tiafoe over Benjamin Bonzi in 3 sets. Federico Del Bonis over Adrian Manarino in 3 sets. 32-seeded Lorenzo Sonego over Peter Govjic in 3 sets. 7-seeded Andrei Rublev over Kwon Soon Woo in 4 sets. David Goffin over Jiri Lehecha in 3 sets. 8-seeded Casper Ruud over Joe Wilfried Tsonga in 4 sets. Alex Molcan over Federico Cora in 4 sets. 2-seeded Daniil Medvedev over Facundo Banchis in 3 sets. Emil Ruusuvuori over Hugo Humbert in 5 sets. Laszlo Dare over Ricardas Berankis in 3 sets. Jairo Sosa over Cheng Sun-Hin in 5 sets. And Holger Rune upsets 14-seeded Denis Shapovalov in 3 sets. Wednesday, second round results. 5-seeded Rafael Nadal over Corentin Moutet in 3 sets. 27-seeded Sebastian Korda over Richard Gasquet in 3 sets. 18-seeded Grigor Dimitrov over Borna Soric in 3 sets. 26-seeded Botic van de Zandschulp over Fabio Fognini in 3 sets and a walkover. Brandon Nakashima over Taeyong Griekspoor in 3 sets. 1-seeded Novak Djokovic over Alex Molcan in 3 sets. 6-seeded Carlos Alcaraz over Albert Ramos Vinolas in 5 sets. 15-seeded Diego Schwartzman over Jaume Munar in 5 sets. 3-seeded Alexander Zverev over Sebastian Baez in 5 sets. Bernabe Zapata Morales upsets 13-seeded Taylor Fritz in 4 sets. Filip Krajinovic over Borna Gojo in 4 sets. 10-seeded Cameron Norrie over Jason Kulber in 3 sets. Aljaz Bedini over Pablo Cuevas in 4 sets. 21-seeded Karen Kakdevov over Hugo Dillon in 4 sets. 9-seeded Felix Auger-Salame over Camilo Ugo Carabelli in 3 sets. And last but not least, John Isner, 23-seed, over Grigor Barari in 4 sets. Yesterday, second round, 7-seeded Andrei Rublev over Federico Delbonis in 4 sets. 11-seeded Jannik Sinner over Roberto Carabellis Baena in 4 sets. 4-seeded Stefanos Tsitsipas over Zdenek Kolar in 4 sets. Gilles Simon over Steve Johnson in 3 sets. Mikhail Yamur over 29-seeded Dan Evans in 4 sets. Christian Garin over Ilya Ivashka in 4 sets. 12-seeded Hubert Hurkacz over Marco Cicinato in 3 sets. Mackenzie McDonald upsets 22-seeded Nicolas Basavilbaso in 3 sets. 32-seeded Lorenzo Songo over Joao Sousa in 3 sets. 20-seeded Mariano Cilic over Marton Fucsovics in 4 sets. Hugo Castone over Pedro Sachin in 3 sets. David Goffin upsets 24-seeded Francis Tiafoe in 4 sets. 28-seeded Milmer Kekmanovic over Alexander Bublik in 4 sets. 2-seeded Daniil Medvedev over Laszlo Dare in 3 sets. Holger Rune over Henry Laaksonen in 3 sets. And 8-seeded Casper Ruud over Emil Ruusuvuori in 3 sets. So 1 third down result down already. 15-seeded Diego Schwartzman over 18-seeded Grigor Dimitrov in 3 sets. So at 8:40 or 8:30, just getting underway. 9-seeded Felix Auger-Salame and Filip Krajinovic. I'm going to go with Auger-Salame as it's just getting underway right now. I'm going to say Auger-Salame 4 sets. And getting underway in a matter of moments. 1-seeded Novak Djokovic and Aljaz Bedini. We're going to go Djokovic in 3. 9 o'clock, you have 23-seeded John Isner and Bernabe Zapata Morales. I'm going to go Isner in 4. Also 9 o'clock, 25-seeded Botic van de Zulp and Rafael Nadal. I'm going Nadal in 3. 10 o'clock, 10-seeded Cam Norris and 21-seeded Kakdevov. We're going to go Kakdevov in 4 in an upset. 11 o'clock, 3-seeded Alexander Zverev and Brandon Nakashima. We're going to go Zverev in 3. And in 2:45, you have 27-seeded Sebastian Korda and 6-seeded Carlos Alcaraz. We're going to go Alcaraz in 4 in that one. Saturday, there's a couple TBDs. So, in terms of times, So, third round, tomorrow you have Mikaela Murray and Stefanos Tsitsipas. We're going to go Tsitsipas in 3. 28 seeded Miomir Kekmanovic and 2 seeded Daniil Medvedev. We're going to Medvedev in 4. 11 seeded Janet Skinner, Mackenzie McDonald. We'll go Skinner in 4. Don't feel good about it, though. 8 seeded Casper Ruud and 32 seeded Lorenzo Songo. We're going to go Ruud in 4. Holger Rune and Hugo Gaston. We're going to go Hugo Gaston in 4. I think that's going to be a good match. Gil Simone and 20 seeded Marian Cilic. We're going to go Cilic in 4. Mackenzie McDonald and Tommy Paul will go McDonald in 4. And then Niels Skapuski and Wesley Kuloff. We're going to go Skapuski in 4. Don't feel good about it, though. Hugo Nyes and John Zielinski. We'll go Zielinski in 4. And then Harry Halavaro and Lloyd Gaspool. We'll go Gaspool in 5, just to make things fun and interesting. David Goppin and 12-seeded Hubert Hurkacz. We'll go Hurkacz in 4. And last but not least, for Saturday, 7-seeded Andrei Rublev and Christian Gari. We're going to go Rublev in 3. Don't feel strong about it. And then the 4th round will begin on Sunday. We'll go over those results on the Monday podcast. And now we're going to breeze through the women's side of it. First round, Marie Buskova over Anastasia Ganisova in 2 sets. 17-seeded Leila Annie Fernandez over Kristen Mladenovic in 2 sets. 14-seeded Belinda Bencic over Reiko Johnny in 3 sets. Donna Vecek over Marie-Jean Borklund in 2 sets. 18-seeded Coco Gauff over Rebecca Marino in 2 sets. 31-seeded Elise Mertens over Elena Garbella Ruse in 2 sets. 4-seeded Maria Sakkari over Clara Burrell in 2 sets. Allison Van Uytvanck over Ann Lee in 2 sets and a walkover. Varvara Gracheva over Astra Sharma in 3 sets. Olga Danlovic over Dalma Golfi in 3 sets. 23-seeded Jill Teichmann over Bernarda Pera in 2 sets. Katerina Siniakova over Petra Martic in 2 sets. Alexandra Sesnovich over Wang Zhu in 2 sets. 10-seeded Gabriela Magruska got upset by Kaya Kanepi in 3 sets. Carolina Muchova over Carol Monet in 2 sets. Camelia Osorio over Harmony Tan in 2 sets. Beatriz Haddad Maya over Christina Buska in 3 sets. Magda Linette upset 16 Ons Jabeur in 3 sets. 26-seeded Serena Ceresta over Tatiana Maria in 2 sets. Solane Stevens over Jewel Nehmer in 3 sets. And the match between Lauren Davis and Marie Buskova canceled. Monday first round results. 22-seeded Madison Keys over Anna Kalinskaya in 3 sets. Katie Voynets over Viktorija Golbik in 3 sets. 16-seeded Elena Rybenka over Extranza Rus in 3 sets. Arina Begu over Jasmine Paolini in 3 sets. 21-seeded Angelique Kerber over Magdalena French in 3 sets. 29-seeded Veronika Kudermetova over Zhu Lin in 3 sets. Anna Carolina Shmidlova over Kristina Kuchova in 3 sets. Alja Tomljanovic upsets 5-seeded Annette Kontaveit in 5 sets. 12-seeded Emma Rakondu over Linda Noskova in 3 sets. Leila Jane over Nuria Paris Diaz in 2 sets. Elsa Jacquemin over Heather Watson in 3 sets. Danka Kovnik over 25-seeded Ludmila Samsonova in 3 sets. Diane Parry over 2-seeded Barbora Krejcikova in 3 sets in a stunning upset. Alison Risk over Diana Yastremka in 2 sets. 1-seeded Iga Swiatek over Lesia Tsarenko in 2 sets. Martina Trezevan over Harriet Dart in 2 sets. Qiwen Zhang over Marina Zavenka in 2 sets. Darius Savell over Valentini Grammaticopoulos in 2 sets. 15-seeded Victoria Azarenka over Anna Bogdan in 3 sets. Bianca Andreescu over Yasiel Bonaventure in 3 sets. Andrea Petkovic over Osei Dodin in 2 sets. 27-seeded Amanda Amisanova over Naomi Osaka in 2 sets. 32-seeded Petra Kvitova over Anna Bondar in 2 sets. And the match between 19-seeded Simona Halep and Anna Konjuno got canceled. Tuesday first round. Arina Sabalenka over Chloe Paquette in 3 sets. Fernanda Contreras Gomez over Pana Uvari in 2 sets. 20-seeded Derek Kasatkina over Rebecca Smirnkova in 2 sets. 19-seeded Simona Halep over Natasha Marinishuk in 3 sets. Madison Brangle over Mihaela Brzezinski in 2 sets. 24-seeded Tamara Zindasek over Claire Liu in 2 sets. Kaja Juvan over Oskana Selmakeva in 2 sets. 3-seeded Paula Badosa over Fiona Farrow in 2 sets. 11-seeded Jessica Pegula over Wang Qiang in 2 sets. 28-seeded Kamila Georgi over Zhang Suai in 3 sets. Yulia Putintseva over Irina Bara in 2 sets. And Anna Helena Kalina over Haley Baptist in 1-set walkover. Shelby Rogers over Teresa Martinkova in 2 sets. Mayar Sharif over Marta Kasiuk in 2 sets. Caroline Garcia over Taylor Townsend in 2 sets. 30-seeded Ekaterina Alexandrova over Greet Minin in 2 sets. Elise Cornet over Miskai Doi in 2 sets. 9-seeded Danielle Collins over Victoria Tomova in 2 sets. 8-seeded Carolina Pliskova over Tessa let's go with this one. Adrian Jaformo in 3 sets. Alexandra Krudinovic over Kamila Rakimova in 2 sets. And 13-seeded Jelena Ostapenko over Lucia Bronzetti in 2 sets. The match between Rebecca Peterson and 20-seeded Daria Kasatkina got canceled. Wednesday, second round. Diane Parry over Camila Osorio in 2 sets. Daria Savale over 32-seeded Petra Kvitova in 2 sets. Martina Trevisan over Magda Linette in 2 sets. 14-seeded Belena Bencic over Bianca Andreescu in 2 sets. Varvara Gracheva over Alja Tomtovic in 3 sets. Solane Stevens upsets 26-seed Serena Cestera in 3 sets. 17-seeded Leylah Fernandez over Katerina Siniakova in 2 sets. Kaya Kanepi over Beatrice Haddad Maya in 2 sets. 31-seeded Elise Mertens over Marie Buskova in the walkover. 18-seeded Coco Gauff over Alison Van Jotovic in 2 sets. 27-seeded Amanda Anisimova over Donna Vencik in 2 sets. Carolina Muchova upsets 4-seeded Maria Sakkari in 2 sets. 21-seeded Angelique Kerber over Elsa Jacquemot in 2 sets. 15-seeded Victoria Azarenka over Andrea Petrovic in 2 sets. Alexandra Sasnovic over 12-seeded Emma Raducanu in 3 sets. And 23-seeded Jill Teekman over Olga Danovic in 2 sets. Yesterday's second round results. Elias Cornet upsets 13-seeded Jelena Ostapenko in 3 sets. Shelby Rogers upsets 9-seeded Danielle Collins in 2 sets. 7-seeded Arina Sabalenka over Madison Brangle in 2 sets. 1-seeded Iga Swiatek over Alison Risk in 2. Qin Zhang upsets 19-seeded Simona Halep in 3. 28-seeded Kamila Georgi over Yulia Putintseva in 2 sets. 22-seeded Madison Keys over Caroline Garcia in 2. Danka Kovnovic over Anna Carolina Shmidlova in 2 sets. 16-seeded Elena Rybanka over Katie Volinets in 2 sets. 20-seeded Daria Kasatkina over Fernanda Contreras Gomez in 2 sets. 3-seeded Paola Badosa over Kaja Juvan in 3 sets. 24-seeded Tamara Zinasek over Maya Sheriff in a walkover. 11-seeded Jessica Pegula over Annalena Kalinina in 3 sets. Leila Jean over Carolina Pliskova in 2 sets and an upset. 29-seeded Veronika Kudermetova over Alexandra Krunik in 2 sets. And Marina Begu upsets 30-seeded Ekaterina Alexandrova in 3 sets. Third round underway, but there's one final already. You had Martina Trevisan over Daria Savali in 2 sets. Going on right now, Varvara Gracheva and Elise Mertens, Coco Gauff and Kaya Kanepi, Angelique Kerber and Alexandra Sasnovic. And going on later, actually right now you have Belinda Bencic and Leyla Fernandez right now too. And then you had Amanda Anisimova over Carolina Muchova in a walkover. And then going on a little later, you have Victoria Azarenka and Jill Teekman. I'm going to say Arazenka in 3 there. And then at 9:55, Solane Stevens and Diane Parry. I would say Solane Stevens in 3, but I don't feel good about it. And then Saturday, 3rd round, Marina Begu and Leola Jean. So we'll go Begu in 2. Paula Badosa and Veronika Kudermetova. We're going to go Badosa in 3. Shelby Rogers and Daria Kasakina. We're going to go Kasakina. Actually, no, Shelby Rogers in 3. I like the upset there. Iga Swiatek and Danka Kovnovic. We'll go Swiatek in 2. Madison Keys and Elena Rybinka. We'll go Keys in 3. Kamila Georgi and Arena Sablenka. We'll go Sablenka in 3. Jessica Pegula and Tamara Zinasek. We'll go Pegula in 3. And Qing Zhang and Elise Cornet. We're going to go Cornet in 3. And then the 4th round will begin on Sunday, and we'll obviously discuss it on the podcast on Monday. All right, now I'll move on to NASCAR. We took a while with the tennis. I apologize because we had to go over everything because we missed out. So for the holiday weekend in NASCAR, tonight 8:30 Truck Series from Charlotte on Fox Sports 1. So to the odds on DraftKings, we got the North Carolina Education Lottery 200. My pick here, I'm going to go, I don't feel good about it, but Chandler Smith at 15-1. And then the Xfinity's, the Alsco 300 at Charlotte tomorrow, 1 o'clock on Fox Sports 1. The pick, I'm going to go with the driver that really hasn't broken through on the next level at the Cup Series, but I think he has a shot here against some drivers that he's more advanced in. I'm going to go with Austin Dillon at 10-1 to win the Alsco Informs 300. And then the Cup Series, Sunday evening, 6 o'clock on Fox from Charlotte. I'm going to go at 12-1, Denny Hamlin, to win the Coca-Cola 600 from Charlotte. All right, now I'm quickly going to do my NBA mock draft, which I probably was supposed to do yesterday, but forgot. But without further ado, here we go. Number 1, the Orlando Magic. Jabari Smith, power forward, Auburn. The Magic can have their pick of one of the big three with Smith, Chet Holmgren, and Paolo Banchero. Smith, you can make a case as the safest bet out of the three due to his fine all-around play in college despite poor guard play around him. Number 2, the Oklahoma City Thunder. Chet Holmgren, power forward, center, Gonzaga. The Thunder have to be doing backflips if this scenario presents itself on draft night. Holmgren is the perfect type of player for this young Thunder nucleus with his ability to create his own shot as a stretch 5 and protect the rim. Number 3, the Houston Rockets. Paolo Banchero, power forward, center, Duke. The Rockets land a player here with a ton of skill and upside here in Banchero. There are mixed thoughts about a frontcourt mix of Banchero, Christian Wood, and Albert Sengun, but he and Jalen Green together is a nice foundation long term. For the Sacramento Kings, Sheldon Sharp, shooting guard, Kentucky. The Kings have to be thinking a wing player at this spot, considering that they need to replace the production left behind of Buddy Hield and Bogdan Bogdanovic. Sharp didn't play at Kentucky, but can shoot the lights out of the ball. 5, the Detroit Pistons, Keegan Murray, power forward, Purdue. The Pistons dropping to the 5th spot is not ideal, but it may not be a complete disaster as they have a few viable options. Murray is a nice fit here as he can be a fun pick-and-pop partner for Cade Cunningham with his shooting ability. 6, the Indiana Pacers, Jaden Ivey, shooting guard, Purdue. The fit of Ivey here would be interesting considering they already have Malcolm Brogdon, Tyrese Halliburton, and Buddy Hield on the roster. Ivey is super explosive, but he lacks the distribution skills. 7, the Portland Trailblazers, A.J. Griffin, small forward, Duke. This pick would make a ton of sense for the Blazers considering their need for a forward. Griffin had a fine season for the Blue Devils, and he could come in and provide some good shooting and athleticism. 8, the New Orleans Pelicans from the Los Angeles Lakers, Johnny Davis, shooting guard, Wisconsin. The Pelicans really did leave a great impression on what could be after their playoff loss to the Suns. I feel Davis here might be his ceiling, but the fit here is interesting with all the guards and wings the team has, considering Davis does just about everything well. 9, the San Antonio Spurs, Benedict Mathurin, shooting guard, small forward, Arizona. This would be somewhat of a curveball if the Spurs went in this direction. Mathurin really broke out in a big way last year and is your classic 3-and-D that a lot of teams will covet. 10, the Washington Wizards, Dyson Daniels, shooting guard, G League Unite. This would be somewhat of a reach for the Wiz if he was the pick here. People are skeptical of Daniels due to his shooting numbers, but as a solid defender and gets to the basket. 11, the New York Knicks, Jeremy Schoen, small forward, Baylor. The Knicks ideally would like a guard here, but Schoen may be too good to pass up on. Schoen is someone that really showed off his skill set this past year with the Bears, and I like the idea of him and R.J. Barrett together on the wing. Number 12, the Oklahoma City Thunder from the Los Angeles Clippers, Masami Dieng, small forward, France. This pick would be a major reach for the Thunder, but a player like Dieng is someone that the Thunder should be targeting. Dieng was inconsistent in the NBL, but has tremendous upside with shot making and ball handling. 13, the Charlotte Hornets, Jalen Duren, center, Memphis. The Hornets' need for a center is one of the bigger needs in the entire league. Duren has a double-double potential, and he would fit nicely with Charlotte here. Number 14, the Cleveland Cavaliers, Johnny Davis, shooting guard. Wait, that's not right. I screwed this up. This mock draft. Johnny Davis is not the pick for Cleveland here. The pick for Cleveland here, we're going to go with Malachi Branham, shooting guard, Ohio State. This was a hot match very recently, but I feel this could be a reach, though. He can shoot it well from 3 and gets into the paint often, which the Cavs could use off the bench. 15, the Charlotte Hornets, Tyree Easton, power forward, LSU. This would be a very interesting pick for the Hornets, who already have P.J. Washington at the position. Easton had a breakout year for the Tigers last year and is a good defender, but has some flaws offensively. 16, the Atlanta Hawks, Mark Williams, center, Duke. This would be a telling selection for the Hawks, who already have 3 quality big men. Williams is your traditional center who does not space the floor, and he doesn't have upside either. 17, the Houston Rockets from the Brooklyn Nets. Ochai Ajabi, shooting guard, Kansas. With their second first, the Rockets take a very steady player in Ajabi. He really put himself in a good spot to return to school and winning most outstanding player in the tournament to be a first-rounder. 18, the Chicago Bulls, Juan Montero, point guard, overtime elite. I personally think the Bulls are an unknown in terms of the draft. Montero played in an upstart league and in overtime elite and showed a smooth touch and a passability. 19, the Minnesota Timberwolves, Jaden Hardy, shooting guard, G League Unite. This would be an interesting pick for the T-Wolves, who have an abundance of guards. Hardy is a player that didn't live up to the hype with Unite, but has a ton of potential that he can unlock. 20, the San Antonio Spurs. This is an interesting one because, like I said, I kind of screwed this mock draft a little bit. But we're going to go with Walker Kessler, the big man from Auburn. The Spurs obviously have the need for a big man depending on what happens this offseason. Kessler is an absolute monster defensively in the paint and blocked shots like there's no tomorrow. Number 21, the Denver Nuggets. Kendall Brown, small forward, Baylor. The Nuggets are a team that's going to be in the conversation for the 2023 title with some key players coming back from injury. Brown can come off the bench and provide solid play and has the athleticism to succeed. 22, the Memphis Grizzlies from the Utah Jazz. Ty Washington, point guard, shooting guard, Kentucky. Washington following all the way here would be a major steal for the Grizzlies. Tyus Jones is going to be a free agent, so it'd be smart for the team to draft a player to back up or even play alongside John Morant. 23, the Brooklyn Nets from the Philadelphia 76ers. E.J. Little, power forward, Ohio State. With the James Harden trade potentially looking like a win for the Nets, they get a good player here with Little. He's somebody that is a little older, but improved each and every year at Ohio State. Number 24, the Milwaukee Bucks. Kennedy Chandler, point guard, Tennessee. I like the fit here with the Bucks, considering they have a need for guard depth behind Drew Holiday. Chandler is a super poised player with his playmaking abilities and plays turnover-free for the most part. Number 25, the San Antonio Spurs. Nikola Jovic, power forward, Serbia. With their third pick here, the Spurs go with Jovic, who I think is a good fit for San Antonio. He's the safest bet of international players in this draft, and he's your classic point forward type of player that does a little bit of everything. 26, the Dallas Mavericks. Jalen Williams, shooting guard, Santa Clara. The Mavericks have a future MVP on their hands in Luka Doncic, so they need to build a team that best suits them. Williams has been a big-time riser of late in terms of draft prospects and showed tremendous potential as a 3-and-D wing. 27, the Miami Heat. Patrick Baldwin, small forward, power forward, Milwaukee. Baldwin was a massive disappointment this past season with injuries, and I feel that he probably should have played for a larger branded program, considering the hype he had. Baldwin could rediscover his potential he had coming into school on the right team. Number 28, the Golden State Warriors. Christian Coloco, center, Arizona. The Warriors are a likely candidate to trade out of this spot. Coloco broke out this season for the Wildcats and averaged a double-double and over 2 blocks a game. 29, the Memphis Grizzlies. Leonard Miller, small forward, Canada. Miller is a fast riser as the draft approaches in 4 weeks from today. He is a long-term project for sure, but has capabilities to be a great player down the road. 30, the Oklahoma City Thunder from the Phoenix Suns. Turf-Keon Smith, shooting guard, NC State. I could see the Thunder trying to move back up in the teens and using this pick with either a current player or a future pick. Smith is a player that has a good shot and could be a solid bench scorer for somebody. All right, there you have it for the mock draft. And now I'm going to go over today's news and notes. Some interesting stuff here. So we talked about the offsides goal in that Rangers game. And there's some controversy over it. I feel like the Rangers have faced so much controversy in the postseason, but I personally felt that it was offsides. And I mean controversy in terms of good goals and not good goals, and against them as well. Apparently the Colin Kaepernick workout with the Raiders went well, and the door is open for him after he impressed the Raiders. Dennis Allen, the former Raiders coach, now the Saints coach, expects Michael Thomas to be ready for training camp, so that's good. Josh Donaldson apologized and made a statement about the racist remark he directed towards Tim Anderson. The Yankees signed Matt Carpenter to a major league deal and Shane Green to a minor league deal. And then Matt Carpenter said, if they want me to load the bags on the plane, I'll do it. As he's thankful for his shot with the Yankees. And he played last night, went 0 for 2 with a walk and 2 runs scored. The Yankees and the Rays halted their social media coverage of the game last night, and brought attention to the facts about gun violence in America. I believe they're the only two teams that did that. So we'll see if anybody follows suit here. Zion Williamson has improved his healing in his foot and has no restrictions on his return to play progression. So that is really good news for the Pelicans. Jerry Rice trolls Charles Barkley and made sure that he had more rings than him. Not surprised. So we talked about Stephen Curry winning the Western Conference Finals MVP, and the cameras showed him and Luka showing love as Luka was smiling and congratulating Stephen Curry after the win. But Jason Kidd really had an interesting press conference after the game as he goes, now it's about what's our appetite come next season. Next season, are we going to be hungry? And then are we going to train this summer to understand what it means to play until May and June? And I really thought this was a successful season for the Mavs. I really do. They were not supposed to be in the Western Conference Finals. I understand they have Luka Doncic on their team and anything could happen. But they traded away Kristaps Porzingis and their team immediately got better. So that was a good little Ewing theory with him, with Dallas. And Luka will be in the MVP conversation next year. And they have to improve their team a little bit. If they make the right moves, they're going to be a popular pick to come out of the Western Conference next year. And they might be a popular Western Conference pick next year regardless, solely because of Luka. And non-sports news, there's a lot of thunderstorms in the New York metro area to kick off Memorial Weekend. And then Memorial Day Monday is going to be really, really nice out. It's unfortunate that the Yankees aren't playing, and I don't know if the Mets are playing on Monday or not. We'll see. Really sad news. The world lost another legend. Ray Liotta from Goodfellas passes away at the age of 67. Thoughts and prayers go out to Liotta and his family and his peers. Just really sad news, and he was so young at 67. A man jumps from the 32nd floor of the UN Plaza building, hits the third floor patio, and dies. That's really sad. Donald Trump loses appeal and must testify in New York AG's probe of business practices. Kevin Spacey charged in UK with 4 counts of sexual assault, including penetrative sexual activity without content. Yikes. So, there you have it for the non-sports news. Actually, no, one more item. Ellen DeGeneres had her final show yesterday. That was aired. She started the show with a nice little monologue. And then she had her partner in crime on the show, Twitch, dance with her through the alleys of the audience. And then at the end of the show, she had another statement, and she teared up. And it was sad, and Ellen was around for a long time. Her show did very well. The giveaways were great, especially in the holiday season. A ton of surprises she pulled off on the show for families. Had some big stars. Surprised some guests as well. Remember Kobe Bryant surprised a guest on there before he passed. Remember Clayton Kershaw being on Ellen before. A ton of military homecomings. Sophia Grace and Rosie with Nicki Minaj was a great memory. I remember when she announced that she was going to be a judge on American Idol and her crowd went wild. She had her wife Portia on the show several times. So, an era coming to an end. And I believe the Kelly Clarkson show is going to replace her time spot on NBC. All right, last but not least, my best bet of the day, brought to you by FanDuel. So this is going to be an interesting one. As we head into Memorial Day weekend, the Miami-Boston line just went up to 9. And by the way, Scott Foster was at the Dallas game, but the extender didn't live up to his name as Golden State blew him out. I didn't even think of that till now. So, best bet for tonight, I will take a baseball underdog that I think should be favored. I'm going with the Cardinals. I'm going to lay a unit on St. Louis, plus 122 at home against the Brewers. Brandon Woodruff is favored, and the Brewers are favored because of what Woodruff did last year. This is a new season. Dakota Hudson's been better than Brandon Woodruff this year. And I know the Brewers are really good. I get it. But guess who else is also awesome? The Cardinals. So, I know the Brewers are better in the standings, but I like the Cardinals at home tonight. Plus 122 against the Brewers. All right, so that's it for today's show. We'll be back on Monday recapping everything from MD Dub and looking ahead to a fun Memorial Day Monday and all the games and whatnot. And obviously, news and notes and best bet I'll have for you as well. Have a wonderful Memorial Day weekend, everyone.